Well, hello again. This is another quick insight into some of the things that are coming with Project Dog Waffle Howler Edition at this time. This is still a bit early and under development, but it's actually already some of this shipping in version 11.2c on the BMT Micro Store and also at thebest3d.com, and then also by Dan Ritchie himself at squirreldome.com. And essentially, it's a new step into exploring new types of foliage, and these are tree typically, but I have one loaded here, which is a weed foliage, and it is made of a 3D structure, so we can spin it around. And if you have a fairly fast system, which I don't have, but if you have a fast system, this will be very fast in the shaded mode. You can also change it to a wireframe mode, and it's very good to understand how that tree is built. You can see there is a main stem, there are some branches, and somewhere along those branches, or typically at the end of the twigs and the end of some of the branches, you'll also see some rectangular shapes carrying an image of some leaves or whatever we want that image to contain, right? It's essentially a billboard polygon, and that rectangular billboard polygon typically would carry the picture of a leaf, but it could be other things too. And so it's a combination of several files: an OBJ file for the 3D object, the material library file, MTL, and then also some images like JPEGs or PNGs that contain the colors or the masks, transparency, and so on. And you can also interactively move around there. It's quite sensitive, but you can move with the left button. You can move in and out of the scene. All right, so you can get a slightly better look here, and then rotate that, if you will, something like that. Let's go back. There's also a bounding box mode, which is the default, and you only see parts of the bounding box here right now. So if you're fast enough on your PC, I would certainly recommend using the shaded mode so you can stay in that view all the time. And so that's that. We do have a couple of geometries shipping with this. I'm going to go quickly into the place where that's located. So if you are in the folder where you've installed, and that typically would be on the C drive under program files x86, it's a 32-bit program, and it would be under the Howler folder. There is a geometry subdirectory with two more subdirectories, some test objects like a bunny, a dragon, a teapot, and something carrying sort of a billboard number 2 on it. And then there's also, more importantly, the foliage, some trees. The one we had earlier was one of those weeds, weed 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Let's load one of the bigger ones. Let's say first tree, oak tree. Let's take one of the oak trees. So some of these are pretty big, at least for my old PC, and it will take a little while to load, but then also to render. And so you can see it's rendering now, and it's going to take a little while. There you go. And I'm looking, it seems like I'm positioned to look towards the bottom of the tree. I'm going to go switch this one to bounding box, and then with the left button I can move the bounding box out a little bit. By moving it up vertically, we'll go in or out of the scene. Sideways I can go also. And then with the right button, but I have to wait for that rendering to complete. And then with the right button, I can also move the position of the camera up and down against the ground so that I get closer to the central part of the tree. And when I let go, it renders again. So this one here is quite time consuming because it's loaded with a lot of trees. If I want to come in closer, I'll have a closer look at some of these branches and the many leaves that it's carrying. Let's go move it up a little bit. That's with the right button. And wait for that render. Yeah, and that can take quite a while. And it does carry some texture on the branches too. You see sort of a wood bark. And so there it is. That's a new feature coming to Dog Waffle over the coming, who knows, months or years or forever. It's an ongoing development to add more interesting features and capabilities. and we sure hope you'll like it as much as we do. And we'll join us in seeing this further developed in new features and a rich collection, hopefully, of more trees and other types of shrubberies that lend themselves well to this kind of objects. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.